I'm Matt Sargent with ABC Acres in Hamilton, Montana. It's November 29th, 2017. We're out in our tree belts today, and we're going to talk about preparing the agroforestry areas for winter and what that entails. We had a request to hear what we do on the farm to get ready for winter. I'm not going to get into the details with the livestock. The goats and the pigs, they're in their paddock shift system. We will do a future video about how our rotational grazing scheme kind of changes due to the nuances of winter and the needs of the pigs and the goats. The big thing we do for them as far as getting ready for winter, just making sure that there's tank heaters in their troughs so they have access to fresh water. Our cattle, they're in their winter bale grazing grounds. We've done a few videos about bale grazing. I'm not going to go into that ad nauseum. If you want to check those out, there will be a link to at least one of them at the end of the video. If not, check out ABC Acres channel. Look up bale grazing. We've got 2 videos to my knowledge about it. It's a great way to build fertility while feeding your cattle through the winter. But we're really going to talk about what it takes to prepare our tree systems for winter, to ensure optimal success, optimal health of everything. The first thing we did when it started to get cold in late October, early November, and our trees started going dormant, is we came through, and you can see we did some pruning for the trees that needed it. We also pruned all our nitrogen fixing shrubs that are associated with each individual planting, part of that individual tree's guild. But we did our dormant season pruning now because it makes it a lot easier for us to do it now while there's no snow on the ground than say in late December or January when there's potentially 1 to 2 feet of snow and we're post-holing around and things just get awkward. Another thing that we did, if you'll notice that there's this ring around here, we pulled back all the mulch from around all the trees. I know that there are studies out there that show that the vole damage is the same with or without mulch. In our experience, if we don't pull the mulch back, we get heavy vole predation, and we've lost a lot of trees to that historically. So hopefully this is our last year pulling the mulch back, but this also sets us up for the next stage of succession, because what we'll be doing in mid to late March when we start getting some melt freeze is we'll be frost seeding clovers and some other legumes out here to create more of a living mulch. And then we'll be adding another element that'll help us maintain those mulches, hopefully with less work on our part. But we'll get there in April or May when we've added that element, and we'll show it to you. Something to look forward to. Little teaser right there. At least I think that's the industry talk. So we've pulled back the mulch, and then we've also made sure that every tree has a vole guard on it to protect them from those nasty little buggers. If we do notice we start getting a buildup of snow, we will put another layer, another height of the vole guard. Last year we had some trees that got girdled. We had about 2 feet of snow, and you could see girdle marks right about here. It was kind of interesting to look at once all the snow had melted. Interesting for the trees that had survived, not so interesting for the trees that didn't. The other thing we did to get this area ready for winter was we came through with the mower and the weed eater and dropped down all the tall vegetation. One, that as we get the moisture, because most of our moisture here in Montana comes in the winter, it'll help break that down, build soil, and keep that carbonaceous material from just oxidizing. But our other hope in knocking all these grasses and other perennial herbs, biennial herbs down to a lower height was that it wouldn't give the voles anywhere to hide. They wouldn't have tall grasses to hide in, and all of our friendly raptors, well, not friendly if you're a vole or a rabbit, potentially a chicken, but we have a very healthy community of red-tailed hawks, kites, great horned owls. We're trying to eliminate hiding places for the prey and give the predators an advantage to help reduce that vole population. The last thing we did to get ready for winter in these tree belts, and we actually ended up doing it twice this year because it got cold in September and then warmed up and we had to turn the irrigation back on, is we blew out all the lines, double checked all of our irrigation. That way when it starts getting warm in the spring, we're good to go. We won't have burst pipes and all the headaches associated with that. Yeah, and that covers getting the tree belts ready for winter. If you have any questions or comments, we always love to hear from you. If you just want to share what's going on in your neck of the woods, what you're doing on your homestead, we love to hear from you. You are why we do this, so thanks for joining us, and until next time, happy growing.